Hey, this is Scott the Fix-It Guy. I've had a few of my viewers ask what to do on a Whirlpool front-loading washing machine when you can't get the door open. And this can be caused by a couple different things. One is it could be that the drain can't get rid of the water, and if the machine thinks there's still water left inside, it won't let you open the door because software has been designed so that if you did open the door and there's a lot of water left, it could pour out onto your floor, which you don't want. It could ruin your floor. So if you do have water left, the door won't open. That could be one cause. We're going to cover today how to fix that. It's really easy. Another could be that the door lock itself has failed, and we'll go over how to fix that. And the other more common condition is we call it a suds condition. And that's where there's too much detergent has been placed into the machine. It's created too many bubbles, too many suds. And the little drain impeller is spinning really fast, but it's hitting mainly air instead of hitting water. So there's not enough resistance. And that makes the computer think that there's still a lot of water left, so it won't open the door. In fact, it'll do something weird. It'll constantly be in a drain mode. It won't progress in the cycle. The door lock light at the top is a red light on this machine. It'll probably be blinking, and you'll hear the drain constantly going, but it won't unlock. So could be one of those three conditions. Most common is a suds condition because there's too much soap. These front loaders don't use very much soap at all. If you're used to a top loader, you want to use maybe a quarter of that amount of soap. So less soap, and if you're going to use any kind of detergent that you use has to be the HE, which is for high efficiency. If it's not HE, it'll create way too many suds. So that's the most common. It could be that the door lock itself has failed, so we'll go over how to do that. And another could be that the drain impeller that spins got stuck by something. Something got pulled into the drain mechanism, and now it can't drain. And if that's the case, the door won't open because it's full of water. So let's cover that one first. If that's the situation, let's take the drain hose out from the wall, from the standpipe that it fits into, and let's put it in a bucket and let gravity just pull the water out of the machine. And then that'll probably allow you to open the door. So to do that, you just have to have a bucket, and you have to have it lower than this door. And then a natural physics process will create a siphoning effect and pull that water down into the bucket even without using your drain motor. So that'll be the first thing we'll try. So we're just gonna reach in and grab our drain pipe from this thing called the standpipe inside the wall. Pull that out. And we're gonna put that into a bucket. So here we go, put it in a bucket. And we're just going to let gravity act on it, and that's going to pull out any water that's left. In this case, it wasn't very much water, but by having it low like that, it'll just gravity feed, get all the water out. And then once the water is out, open up your door, which is great. Still got a little water left in there, you can see it. So if you have that suds condition, which is another possibility, that's just that too much soap has ended up in here, or maybe it wasn't the HE soap, created too many suds, and you'll have the condition again where it's just constantly draining. This little light will be probably blinking. You might even get a certain code fired up here. But the main thing is you just notice that it's constantly draining, it won't progress. So the thing to do, which is effective, usually works, is simply to just unplug your machine, give it about, say, 5 minutes of being turned off. And then when you plug it back in, you give it power again, you'll probably hear the drain motor still going. You might see this still going, but then after maybe 5 or 6 seconds, you should hear it just stop, and you should be able to open the door. So if nothing's working though, and you still can't get it open, then the other thing you can do, which is pretty easy, is pull the machine out away from the wall, so you have a little bit of room to work back here. And behind this panel, which is called the upper panel, are a few screws. You just have to take them out. Let's see if we can get an image of that back here. Yeah, so we can see, got a screw there, and then we got one in the middle, and then one at the very other side. So we take those out. I think those are Torx 15 screws on this model. Once those are off, and you take this panel and you move it back by about an inch, and then you can lift this panel off. And then all you got to do, it's really easy, is you reach in right about here. You got to go down pretty low with your arm. You'll be inside the cabinet here. There's an opening. You reach down, and you're going to actually get your hand behind. You won't be able to open it yet, but you'll get your hand behind this thing, which is the door lock, and then you can pull up on a plastic piece. It's like a little release, and that will allow the door to open. And it's kind of cool. It's a reset for the computer. If there's any errors, we'll get rid of any errors. And you'll be able to get into your machine, and you'll be okay at that point. You may, though, then figure out that your door lock itself has failed, and you may want to replace it, which is easy to do. So to replace it, what we'll do is just get this boot out of the way, the door boot. And to do that, you could take a flathead screwdriver, and you can put it in. Let's get you guys an image of this. Put it in underneath this metal ring. It's called the spring clamp, and you can kind of bend back like this. See how it's coming out, coming toward me, and just keep pulling it, and see how it's coming out. Okay, so that's that spring clamp, and you can pull it out from inside of its groove. And you'll notice that it has a spring. In this model, the spring will end up, after you install it, either to your left, and most often, probably a little bit easier, if you ends up the spring at the 6 o'clock position when you reinstall it. But once you get that spring off, spring clamp, you can take this rubber boot off of this ridge on the front panel. Just pull it off, and then you want to tuck it in. When you tuck it in, you can get behind your door lock. Go ahead and take out these two Torx 15 screws so we can get this out. There's our little chicken is coming to say hello too. So we've got this one. Zip that out. We've got this one. Get that out. And then we'll push in to get this inside the cavity. We can reach in with our left hand, pull it toward us. And we can see, it's kind of cool, this thing right here. That's what we're going to pull up on. And that's the manual release. When you reach into that cavity and you pull up, that's going to make it let go. Isn't that cool? So that's the thing you pull up on. You could even tie a string to that if you wanted to and run it all the way up to the top so you can more readily get to that to cause it to release. If you need to replace this, all you got to do on this model is take out that modular connector and that modular connector, pull them off, and then you buy a new one. That's the part number. we'll put one in the link below. These are pretty cheap. Buy a new one and then hook up the connectors, and then you can just put that in a position like that, right? And then add the screws manually and then tighten them. Let's do that. Okay, we got those started. Let's tighten them up. That one. That one. And then for this rubber piece, we just got to get this lip back over the ridge, right? That's going to be pretty easy. That'll just take you a couple minutes. Just going to feed it back over all the way around the perimeter. And then we can put that clamp back on. One of the tricks to putting those clamps on, it makes it a lot easier. If you want to lubricate them, you could use any kind of oil. I just like to use the liquid laundry detergent because it's pretty slippery. Let me get this all the way around, then I'll show you guys. All right, so I'm just going around that perimeter, and I'm using one hand to pull it out and the other hand to push it over the ridge. And that's the easy part. Clamps, pretty easy. Some people say putting the clamp on kind of hurts their fingers, but if it does, you can also use a screwdriver, flathead screwdriver, to help get it in more leverage. But depends on the model how tight that spring clamp is. But usually it's not that bad. So I'm feeling around here, and I can tell that the rubber boot is onto the ridge. So we're pretty much ready. Notice that's bent a little bit. I'm just going to bend it out again. And then I'm going to add some laundry detergent. It's just liquid laundry detergent. You guys can see it. And I'm going to put a little bit of that on my fingers. And I'll run that over the entire surface to make it slippery. It makes it easier. Okay, when you put this on, what you can do is start at the 12 o'clock position up here and put it on and then pull it out to the sides. I'm using my thumbs. So now I'm out at about 3 o'clock and my left hand's out at 9 o'clock. I'm keeping it inside that ridge. And now my thumbs are on the inside, so I have some outward leverage. I'm gonna go down. Move my hand, you guys can see that. And I'm feeding that down. Using my left hand to keep this one still. Feed the right one down. Okay, so I'm going to start at the 12 o'clock position and get my thumbs in there, push down, spring over. There we go. So it does hurt the thumbs a little bit, but you could use the screwdriver instead of your thumb. And lubricating it though with the laundry detergent really makes a big difference. So we got that back on. We've got the new lock on there, and we're all set. So we'll be able to open that door at any time. So thanks so much for watching, and please let me know if you have any questions and put them in the comments below. I'd like to announce our new channel membership. By joining, you're going to get some really good perks. Number one, you're going to get live help whenever you need it on your appliance problems, either by text, email, FaceTime, Zoom, whatever you want to get your appliance problem resolved. I'll be able to get you any kind of parts diagrams that you need. I'll get you really good deals on parts. I'll send links to you so you can order them and get them probably by the next day to fix your appliance. And all this is only for $4.99. So that'll save you quite a bit of money. And the whole goal of becoming a member with me is that it's going to give you a chance to save a lot of money on the types of appliance repairs that we all run into on a yearly basis. So thanks so much, and please click on the link in the description below, and that's going to allow you to join our channel today, start working on resolving your appliance problem. So thanks again.